Everybody, Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific 3 Eastern to Sunday, 3 Pacific 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And yes, it's Monday here on the show. You know what that means? It means it's a nice day here in beautiful Bothell, Washington. Hot sunny day in the middle of October, I don't know how. But we got a lot to talk about, don't we? Well, I know everyone's waiting to hear some big rant about Javon Evans. I think you're going to have to pay for last night's Bryan and Vinny show because I got too much to talk about here today. There's bigger fish to fry. Raw has taken place. And I'm sorry, we're going to talk about it here today on the show. Some of you are going to say, well, I haven't watched it yet. These are spoilers. Well, too bad. The show already aired. You could have watched it this morning if you wanted to. And there was a big angle on the show. And yes, we're going to talk about what's going on with Seth Rollins. So that's going to be talked about here today. There was a Crown Jewel show this weekend we've got to talk about. We will talk about the TNA Bound for Glory show. We're going to talk about SmackDown and Collision if we've got time. We're going to talk about New Japan, where there is, in fact, a new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. We got New Japan events coming up, TNA events coming up. If we have time, we got updates on some stories from this past week. The Smashing Machine, a flop. We can tell you about that. Kota Ibushi underwent surgery, and so much to get into. Filthy Tom is joining us here today. I don't know how we're going to get through all of it, but we're going to do our best. So if you would like to text us, 425-780-7566 is the phone number. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. F4W Online Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. At Bryan Alvarez on X and Blue Sky. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Chat GPT, SmackDown review starring Filthy Tom and Bryan Alvarez.
Welcome back, you miserable wretches, to another disaster of an episode of Figure 4 Daily, the only show on the internet that's guaranteed to make your brain rot faster than watching one of these SmackDown episodes. I'm your host, Filthy Tom Waller, joined by the man who somehow manages to be more useless than a rubber knife in a prison fight, Bryan Alvarez. What's up, Bryan?
Let's not pretend you're the shining star of this operation. You're like a broken pencil. Pointless. And I don't even know I'm still here with you. Anyway, let's get to this train wreck of a SmackDown. Spoiler alert, if you were expecting a wrestling show, you've come to the wrong place. It was like watching someone fall asleep in real time.
You should know all about falling asleep, Bryan, since you've been half dead for years now. If enthusiasm was an Olympic sport, you would get a participation medal for showing up, but still lose.
I could tell the crowd was hyped for Drew, and Nakamura's music is always a banger, but it was just nothing. It's like watching a 5-minute commercial for a product you don't even want to buy.
And I bet the only thing that was more uninspiring than this match was your entire existence. Let's move on before I fall asleep right here on this microphone.
Tom, you think because you're a former fighter, that makes you a wrestling expert? You'd probably lose in a match with a traffic cone. Look, Jade's a star, but Liv Morgan, she's the human version of a please wait screen.
Liv Morgan is about as useful as a sandbag at a swimming pool party, who's like trying to make a turkey sandwich with no bread.
It's like the crowd went from yay to who's got the remote. Can we change the channel?
Liv Morgan's biggest move is making the audience wish for better things. She's like the human version of a wet sock. Nobody wants it.
I get it, Tom. You don't like fun. You don't like energy. You don't like anything that's not just sitting on your couch in your pajamas complaining.
More of the same.
Oh, we're back to more of the same, huh? Just like your wrestling career. More of the same, but somehow still a disaster.
Well, that's it, folks. SmackDown 2025 was more like SmackDown 2005. Same old stuff, same old disappointments. Join us next time when we tear apart something else for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, next time, Tom, maybe you'll actually have some real wrestling to talk about instead of whatever disaster this was. Until then, just remember, don't listen to Tom and don't watch SmackDown. Unless you hate yourself.
Whatever. It's your funeral.
What? I've never been so embarrassed doing this show as I was for the last 5 minutes. God. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom is joining us here today, and we got 1,000 things to talk about on the program today.
Maybe more.
Yeah. Actually, we might literally have more than 1,000 things. Now, the first thing we got to talk about is Seth Rollins. Because, Filthy, you watched the entire Raw show?
I did.
All right. Tell us what happened in the main event segment with Seth.
Okay, well, first, I'll go over what happened in the opening segment, which was basically just Rollins coming out. He did a promo. He had the Vision along with him, Braun, Bronson, Paul. Talked about how great they all are individually. But then he started talking about how great he is, how he did everything essentially on his own because he's so great, this and that. So, the main event of the show was Jey Uso taking on LA Knight against our friend Dark Phillip. And that match was won by CM Punk. So CM Punk
he is the number one contender.
Yeah, CM Punk pinned Jey Uso after the GTS. It was a good match, good action three-way main event with these guys. LA Knight seemingly had Punk pinned after BFT, but Jey Uso pulled him from the ring, threw him into the steps to continue the feud that they've been having. And then he went in the ring, and Punk grabbed him, hit the GTS, pinned him. And as Punk celebrated, Rollins' music hit. Braun Breaker ran down. He speared Jey in the aisleway, looked at CM Punk. Then he ran around the ring, speared LA Knight on the floor. He and Bronson Reed beat down Punk in the ring. He speared Punk. All this went on as Rollins watched on, along with Heyman. Reed then gave Punk a tsunami. The four of them celebrated together. The credits ran. They thanked Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting. And
all right, we don't need all
Braun Breaker broke free, speared Seth Rollins, stood over him. Crowd's going crazy. They're barking. He gets in Bronson Reed's face, and he says, "You got a choice to make. You're either with me or you're not." So Reed kind of looks around, and he walks over. He grabs Rollins, drags him to position, crushes him with a tsunami. And then Braun Breaker grabs Paul Heyman by the tie, and he tells him, "You have a choice to make. You're either with me or you're not." When he was saying this was off the microphone. So you're either with me or you're not. He walked over. He grabbed the title from Seth Rollins' grasp, held it over him, and Paul Heyman held up the arms of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to end the show.
All right. Well, I got to mention something here, and this is right now, as of this moment, this is entirely speculation, okay? But Friday, the Observer came out with these teams for Survivor Series. Remember this?
Yeah.
And
what?
they were like weird.
Yeah.
But I was like thinking about it, and I was kind of starting to figure out, okay, you know what? I can kind of see where, at least for the men's team, this might be going.
There was
the
a
women's
glaring,
team, I'm not sure.
There was a
standout on each team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's somebody added that I could not believe my eyes.
Okay, so this was Friday, all right? Now, if you've been watching the show, I mean, they've been planting a seed for a while. Like, Seth is always in the back. He's got his stupid outfit on, his dumb glasses. And you could just, look at Braun Breaker. He's just staring a hole in the sky. He hates this idiot. So, they've been teasing that this was going to happen for a while. And then on the Crown Jewel show, they did an angle where Paul, he tells the guys, tonight, if Seth Rollins gets on that top rope and he beckons to the back for help, you guys stay here. And the guys are kind of like, huh? And Paul Heyman leaves, and then Braun says, what if Cody wins? And Paul steps back in the frame and he goes, I think we both know what's going to happen if that happens. Basically, the first time Seth screws up, we're killing this guy, okay? So they do the match, and Seth wins, okay? Now, if you've been watching the show of late, they don't do anything quick. So the show ended, and I was like, all right, Seth Rollins won. He saved his spot in the Shield.
He punched Cody with the watch. That
yeah.
Cody had gifted him at WrestleMania.
But the point
year.
is, like, it's clear. All right, he saved his spot, and like down the road, though, this guy's dead. He's gonna screw up somehow. They're gonna kill him. Okay. I woke up this morning. He's already dead. So I thought that seems awfully fast. Like, what's going on here?
And on the show, they were talking about Seth Rollins mentioned they have been in control for 6 months. They've been in control of Raw for 6 months. That's really not that long.
No, not by modern standards. So anyway, I don't know if this is what happened, okay? But there was a picture that came out. Some fan saw Seth Rollins in Perth, and he was in a sling, okay? Now, we have to deal with the boy who cried wolf because, of course, the last time Seth allegedly had an injury, he was faking it, okay? Now, the last time, we knew a day or two later what the real story was. So I presume we're going to know in a day or two about this injury. But if you remember the match with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, for reasons I cannot explain.
I mean, it was an awesome move. I'm like, hell yeah, that was sweet. But
Seth decided that he was going to do not a coast-to-coast dropkick, a coast-to-coast headbutt.
With Cody in the Tree of Woe.
With Cody in the Tree of Woe. He landed on his side. Like, the first thing I thought was, you either screwed up your elbow or you separated your shoulder, dude. Like, that was a really stupid thing to do. And he grabbed his arm and, like, and of course, why? I mean, it could be selling or whatever. But, I mean, I saw that move and I thought, that was a really stupid thing to do. I hope you didn't get hurt. And they do the whole match and everything. They get through it. Then I find out today the guy's got his arm in a sling. So I'm not saying that this is what happened for sure, but I think we'll know very soon. I think there's a chance he hurt himself in that match. And so they decided, we're going to just rush this turn. We'll have these guys murder him. Braun can give him a bunch of spears. Bronson's tsunami almost always puts people out of action for a while. Put this guy on the shelf so he can heal. They probably were going to do the turn maybe at Survivor Series or the day after Survivor Series and just figured, let's move it up. Let's pull the trigger. Let's pull this trigger on this young guy. Maybe that's what they thought after watching that stupid Javon Leon Slater match. Don't even get me going. But anyway, hopefully Seth is okay, but I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he hurt himself.
Neither would I. I mean, it looked like he landed directly on that left arm, either on the wrist, either, could have, I mean, honestly, we talked about it. I talked about it on Thursday with Kota Ibushi. I mean, he could have fractured something in his arm the way that he landed. He could have hyperflexed his elbow really bad, maybe separated shoulder, maybe AC joint separation. It could be any number of things, really.
This guy goes, what happens to Seth's title? We don't even know what's going on yet. It's way too early. I mean, he may have a shoulder injury. He's in Australia. He's probably got to go back. He's got to have it evaluated. They'll determine it then. I mean, they may just keep him out of action.
If he's injured, I think they should do whatever it takes to get him in the ring and have him lose that belt to Braun Breaker ASAP and keep it on him.
Well, I think, listen, Vince McMahon, guy's an idiot, okay? Like, he's an idiot. And
a bad driver.
Well, he's a bad driver, and he's a creep, and he's an idiot. But, like, if we just, like, take out anything personal and just look at his job as a booker, okay, the last 3-4 years of his job, he was the dirt worst. He just absolutely sucked at it, okay? But there is one thing that I will give Vince credit for, and that is that he recognized, this is as a booker, not as a person, he could always recognize, this is boring, like, we're doing the same crap over and over again. Like, we got to do something totally out of left field. And one of Vince's strengths, actually, was when stuff went down and he had to like make a decision, he'd do something crazy and it'd get everybody talking, and sometimes it made sense, sometimes it didn't, but like he'd have Braun win the title.
Are we going to come back and talk about the golden egg?
That was the dirt worst. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Well, we reviewed SmackDown yesterday, Tom, and you don't even get SmackDown. You're very, just, you know how you are.
Fine. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever.
That's your impression of me?
Yeah, that's my impression of you.
Wow.
So what are we, at least, I hope you at least watch the SmackDown main event.
I watched the entire show.
Okay, because there's a lot of people that still like your review, Tom.
I went on the board, and I saw like 2 people.
Yeah, do you go on Twitter?
Yeah, I do go on Twitter,
You read my emails?
I do go on
the
Twitter.
Text messages? I mean...
Do you go on Twitter? Because if you do,
yes.
You would have seen one of the greatest moments in world history.
In world history, really.
World history. Frank Tate walked away the victor of the fight, but he walked away an even bigger winner when it comes to life. This man completed what I would say is the best high five, the best dap up in the history of the galaxy. This man had his dog. And when I say dog,
barely a dog.
I mean D-O-G and D-A-W-G. This was a dog, baby. The dog was so proud. You can see just the elation in that dog's face. He threw that paw up. He let it hang for a few moments, and then he brought it down for the dap.
Tom's not even doing this justice. Everyone has seen a dog,
Listen.
like you put your hand out and the dog like puts his paw up to shake hands. This freaking dog goes, ah, hoppa! Like, what? That was more than a high five. I don't even know what you would even term that. He dunked. He dunked that man.
30 million views on this clip. And that is about 1/10 of what it should have. So if you haven't seen it, you deserve it. Treat yourself. Go to my Twitter. Watch Frank Tate high five his dog.
No, he did not high five his dog.
The dog high fived
His dog high fived him. Yes. He just wanted like a, just boom. And this dog was like, no way, brother. You knock that man out. I'm going to give you a big time dunking high five from way up high. You go high five, up high, down low, too slow. This was an up high. Guy should have pulled his hand away.
It's the best thing you've ever seen.
Man, too slow, Joe. Yeah, it was pretty good. Not going to lie. I liked it. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live, Filthy Tom Lawler. My point, let me just make my point real quick, then you can talk. My point is that Vince would take risks. And I think that Triple H, like as a booker, I think that he's generally far more competent than Vince in terms of just like simple long stories or whatever, but he does not like to take risks. And sometimes you gotta. This might be one of those times. What happened?
I take great offense to what Billy N here in the YouTube chat said.
What do you say?
He said Cena versus AJ should have been the retirement match, an all-time classic.
So you take offense to that? Why?
I think that was one of the worst matches I've seen all year.
You hated that match?
I hated the love letter to professional wrestling.
What I want you to do for me, Tom, is You can rant about it if you'd like, but what I would like you to do when you have a chance is to go watch Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell. And then get back to me about that John Cena AJ Styles match.
I did watch that match as well.
That match was actually horrible. John Cena and AJ Styles, I did hear conflicting,
It was like a parody of a wrestling match is what it was.
The guy's retiring, dude. They did a double tribute match. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I felt like I was watching like I said, a parody, like it was Best in Show, the version of wrestling, or Robin Hood Men in Tights.
You know what it was?
Wrestling.
It was a YWF match on a big stage. Bunch of guys just doing everybody else's moves.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do I need to do? I wish that I could do this through the earwaves, but the people on video will get to see it, because while I hated that match so much, it gave me my favorite moment of the weekend, which was when John Cena took his right foot, started twirling it around like he had the stanky leg, and then
before he went for the RKO,
the most
or
ridiculous. The punt. Yeah, he was gonna wind up for the punt. He did the most ridiculous head.
Are you all right over there? I thought that match was good. I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. Maybe I'd have been more on your side if I hadn't watched that TNA show.
Tiffany versus Jade versus Nia weeks ago was 10 times more enjoyable.
Hey, what'd you think about that? We're all over the place here. Dave tried to tell me that Tiffany and Stephanie had no heat. Were we watching the same match? What did you think?
I thought that match was good.
I did too.
Yeah, I liked the pay-per-view.
I thought the whole pay-per-view was generally very good.
Yeah, I might even give it a B+ if I had to rate it.
Well, let's do a very quick look at all of these shows, and then we got a lot of other news to talk about here, including New Japan. So, since we've been talking about WWE, very quickly, Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns in the street fight. There was interference from both of the Usos. And at one point, Roman was removed from the match by being put through a table or something like that, or the barricade or whatever. And the Usos and Braun just had a tag match in the middle of this singles match. And then everybody starts getting killed. And then Jay ends up trying to spear Bronson. Bronson moves. Jay spears Roman through the table. And then Bronson goes up top, hits a tsunami, and Bronson Reed pins Roman Reigns, which is very rare. And even with all the interference, it felt like a big freaking deal for Bronson Reed. And afterwards...
Well, of course, he's in front of his hometown country.
Yeah, but they didn't like that guy at all. I mean? They hated that guy.
He was getting booed. He was getting big-time cheers today on Raw, though.
So, which is actually kind of weird. I don't know, man.
They loved seeing the turn.
I think they love Roman Reigns more than they love Seth Rollins. Roman then chewed out the Usos afterwards, and he said, I love you. I love you. I do not want to see you until Christmas. So, someone's in trouble, the crowd chanted, which was the funniest chant of the weekend. Tiffany and Stephanie for the Women's Crown Jewel title. They only got 10 minutes. I thought it was pretty good. And Stephanie ended up getting the win. She had her twisting moonsault for the pin. And then they had her do the promo afterwards, the broken English promo. The people just ate it up, loved her. And it was I thought it was a good match. Good match. Then we had AJ and John Cena, which... whatever you want to think. So before, AJ kept doing these interviews in outlets or whatever, and he would say that, next year's going to be my last year or whatever. But now it is actually a storyline on television. AJ is retiring in 2026. And so these guys went in there, and the entire match, after about the first 4 minutes, was 26 minutes of each guy doing tribute moves. AJ's doing tributes to Chris Daniels and Frankie Kazarian and Samoa Joe, and John Cena's doing his tributes, and it's big move after. The place is going freaking wild.
And the announcers are calling it as the moves of those people. They're calling it the Coquina Clutch.
Yep.
When he put the sleeper on.
Yep. And in the end, John Cena ended up getting the win with the AA. And... hey, listen, here's the thing. If you hated it, great. If you guys on the chat loved it, great. At the end of the day, the frickin' fans in the building ate it up. And not only did they eat it up, I don't know how many people were in the building, 16, 17,000, whatever the actual crowd was. I would say 90% of them bought those yellow John Cena shirts. I have never seen so many of the same shirt, not even like the height of Austin 316.
I have.
Everybody bought this shirt. When?
I was in Djibouti, Africa, years ago, and in the downtown, which resembles a flea market, there were everybody had a John Cena shirt on. Every single person. I couldn't believe it.
Are you
Little
kidding
kids,
me, or is this real?
I am telling you the truth. They would run up to the caravan we were in. It was myself, Kyle Kingsbury. I'm trying to think of who else. Maybe Matt Brown was on that trip. They would run up to the caravan and go, John Cena, John Cena, John Cena. We walk through the streets. John Cena. It's like, that's Kyle Kingsbury. He's bald. He looks nothing like him.
How
John
about
Cena,
that?
John Cena.
Well, that's cool.
So Djibouti, Africa, a lot of John Cena fans.
Asuka and Kyrie versus Rhea and Io. Golly. Io, Sky, and Asuka were the two best wrestlers in the world on this show. They were absolutely out of this world. I mean, absolutely out of this world. And, like, Dave also said this had no heat because of a report he got, even though I watched it with my own two eyes and they're frickin' going wild, chanting the entire match. But what I did notice is Rhea did not. I don't care what anyone said. Io was more over than Rhea. And part of that was because they kept Rhea on the apron for like 80% of the match, which allowed Io to just be the best wrestler on earth for 80% of the match. They are going wild for her. And then Rhea gets in there, gets hot tag, and she let Io get the pin with the moonsault. So I guess we'll see where this is going. But
Kyrie took the bullet for Asuka. She pushed Asuka out of the way. She got hit off the apron. She got hit with the Eradicator. She then got pinned by Io. And they expounded upon that today on Raw as well. So
this was an excellent match. And then the main event was Seth and Cody for the men's crown jewel title. It was a good match, but it felt like the previous 3 hours was like another promotion, because like Asuka and Io and Kyrie are wrestling like it's Stardom, and then AJ and John Cena are just doing like some indie spot fest, and like we're just following all of these matches. Like there's moonsaults and twisting moonsaults, and then we get to this main event, and God bless them, it was an old school, like it was so slow, heavyweight championship match, and after watching all that, I was like, it's too slow for me right now. And in the end, Seth was conflicted. Should I cheat or not? Finally, he gets this watch. It's like, I don't know, 138 grams. Bonks a guy in the face, hits his finish and pins him. He's the crown jewel champion. And, I mean, it was all right, but it was not the best match on the show. So, good show overall, though, I would say.
I get a major issue with Seth Rollins kicking out of a crossroads off the top rope.
That was ridiculous.
Like, that's got to be
absolutely ridiculous.
The end-all, be-all if you're Cody Rhodes. I could not believe he kicked out of that. I couldn't believe they did it in the first place.
I couldn't either, because they were setting that thing up for a while. I was like, no way. And they went, yes way. And they did it, and I was like, oh, my God. And then the guy kicked out, and I was like, don't do that move unless it's like the main event of WrestleMania and you're winning. It was ridiculous. And then he got kicks out of that, but then the other guy gets a bit of a watch. Can't kick out. Come on.
No, Seth did hit him with a stomp off the top rope.
I guess.
As well, so.
Then we had the TNA show. And quick results. Steve Macklin beat Frankie Kazarian for the international title after Kazarian beat him for it like 2 weeks ago. We had Tessa Blanchard beat Gia Miller, which was a very bad match, but not the worst on the show. We had the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, which goes like 30 minutes. And then in the end, we do the Steamboat Savage, Superplex, or Dynamite Kid Superplex into a small package, and they both get pinned. And then the fans are furious. Like, they want a winner. They're like...
They were just booing
They're chanting
vociferously.
BS or whatever. And then Santino comes out and goes, looks like we've got two winners. And now they're even more angry. They're screaming, so we got a dual Money in the Bank winner here.
They played tug of war to the back with the trophy.
We'll talk the rest of this show and then New Japan and all the rest of the news after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right, well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't
Let
need
me
to-
in! Let me
it's
in!
It's fine, it's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
Do you think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
In there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Send me Indy Hartwell versus Victoria Crawford. Because I got to find out if it's actually worse than Kalani Jordan Indy Hartwell for the Knockouts title on Bound for Glory. This match was horrible. It was the worst match on a big show I've seen in years.
The thing that made me most angry about this match was the fact that Indy Hartwell's big finisher, what she hit, is called the Hertz Donut.
Yes.
And I had to listen to the commentators go, no one has kicked out of the Hertz Donut. No one's ever gotten out of this. No one's ever kicked out. It's so devastating. As Kalani Jordan, who was in the ropes while Indy Hartwell made the cover, instead of just extending her arm or flopping it under the rope to break the cover, rolled her leg back ridiculously over the top of her body into the ropes. And like, I was incredulous. I could not believe this was the worst spot, and it was exacerbated by the commentators screaming about how great this Hertz donut is. So now let's look at the annals of history, Brian. What have we had? The F5, the Stunner, the RKO.
Yes.
And now the Hertz donut.
The Hertz donut. It's you got it from Johnny Gargano. I people bring it up to me all the time. They go, "Don't yell at Indy. It's Johnny Gargano's move."
That doesn't make it a good name.
Listen, that spot right there actually was everything
you know what?
you need to know about this match.
The Truth Hertz donut.
Okay, would you shut
when
up
it comes
for a second?
to that name.
So the idea of this spot was she's going to hit the Hertz donut, and then Kalani is going to put her foot on the ropes to break the count. But instead, they do the Hertz donut, and Kalani ends up under. I almost dropped an F-bomb. She ends up under the ropes. But because they need to do the spot of her getting her foot on the ropes, nobody can improvise. Indy just covers her anyway. She doesn't pull her out from under the ropes. She just covers her anyway. The referee just counts anyway. And then Kalani, while under the ropes, puts a foot on the ropes. And I'm like, God! I never go into these shows anticipating anything. I didn't want to get mad about this show again. I got mad enough last night. I got to move on. System versus Order 4 was a War Games match.
This might have been the best thing on the show.
The actual wrestling of Javon and Leon was the best thing on the show. But other than that, yes, this probably was, maybe. It was a very good match. And in the end, Eddie Edwards used a barbed wire Boston knee party on frickin' Ali. This guy is so great.
Brother. Okay. Agent Zero choke bombs Alicia Edwards on a thumbtacks, which was absolutely brutal. So it makes great sense that at the end, Eddie Edwards gets this win with the Boston knee party wrapped in barbed wire. But right before that, Ali dumps a bunch of thumbtacks on top of Alicia Edwards again. He sets up, he smiles at everybody, gives the biggest you-know-what eating grin, and then 450s directly onto these tacks.
Maniac.
He was so awesome, like you said. He's been, what a fantastic week for this guy.
Then Javon and Leon, I will not lose my temper here. You can go listen to the Bryan and Vinny show last night if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, sign up for that show. They had an incredible match. They go to a 20-minute time limit draw. Santino says, I'm going to give you fans 5 more minutes. They have 90 seconds of the best wrestling in the universe. And then the lights go out, and these Dark State idiots hit the ring for the disqualification. These fans are outraged.
Do you blame them?
They are so freaking furious at this finish. And it was so unbelievably... I mean, I don't have any more in me. If there's anything you want to say, say it. And then I got one more fact that I want to alert everybody to before we move on to the next match. But I got to find it here. Anything else you want to say?
About that match?
Yeah.
Dark state of affairs. To anybody that thought they were really getting a finish. Pulled the wool right over your eyes. Come on.
It was just atrocious. Where is this? I got some information. Oh yeah. Do you I swear to God, guys. I swear to God. Do you know the last name of the head writer of NXT? Not Shawn Michaels, but the guy that's considered the head writer. Do you know his last name?
No.
I swear to God, unless somebody in WWE is just messing with me, because I was given this by someone there, the head writer of NXT's last name is Russo. Yeah. Russo. So I'm blaming him. Blaming him for this tragedy. Hardys and Dudleys, one last table. The best I can say is they got through it. And they did get through it. And they ended up it was classic TNA match. It's like you gotta put a guy through you gotta put both guys through a table. And I don't know if they messed up or what, but they put Jeff through a table, and then they keep going to try to put Jeff through a table again. Like, what is happening here? And finally they put Devon through a table, and then, Bubba's all alone. The Hardys have chairs. He's so sad. But then they have respect for him, so they put the chairs down, and they slam him through the table, and they win. It was not the last great tag team match of all time. We probably saw a better one on Raw. But anyway, they retired afterwards, took off their boots, and that is the end of the Dudleys. A long, illustrious career. And that was that. And then, yes, for all of you in the chat, and you know who you are, who told me, no, Brian, there's no way that Trick is going to lose a title to Mike Santana at Bound for Glory. His last chance was Slammiversary. It's absolutely not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, Mike Santana beat Trick Williams, clean in the middle, won the TNA title, presented it to his daughter. He's the champion. Everybody was happy. It was a fine match, but it was rough going after. It was actually a really good match, now that I look back. But it was rough going after the some of the stuff we had seen earlier.
And we probably could have done without the failed cash-ins of both Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian afterwards.
Yeah.
I know you want to add a little bit of suspense, but personally, I would have preferred if they just kind of went off the air with a big celebration for Mike Santana. This is your guy. This is a story you've been building to over the past year. I understand you want to have directions coming out of it, but we already knew those guys were going to go after the title, so they should have ended it, well, as they did with Santana, but I think they could have just gone right to it.
This guy goes, John Alba reported WWE had significant say in the Javon and Leah. Well, yeah. It's not just that match, dude. They have full control over everything that involves their guys. Do you understand? Like they'll work together, but at the end of the day, WWE's making the calls. This Russo fella, like he's the guy you want to get mad at for that match. That's the guy. You want to get mad at somebody for Javon having his... I'm not even getting going!
Excuse me?
Stop it! What happened on New
that?
Japan today? Who's IWGP champion? Did you watch the match yet?
I did not watch the match, but I know that in a little over 30 minutes, Konosuke Takeshita defeated one of my favorite rivals, Zack Sabre Jr., with a hyperdrive knee, an exposed hyperdrive knee to get the victory. Also, Yota Tsuji defeated Gabe Kidd for their secondary title. And Bomba Clot, big up, let's get man. Yuto, Ice, and Oscar defended the tag titles over Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of title changes. We're going to talk about that on the Observer radio show tonight with Dave. Shuri beat Saray. IWGP women's title.
Heard it was fantastic.
Yeah, I wonder how Evil and Bolton Oleg was.
Evil defeated Bolton Oleg. He won the never open
I wonder
weight
how the
title
match
back.
was. I don't care about
Well,
that.
the big news coming out of it is that afterwards, Wolf Aaron came in, and he started throwing around the House of Torture, and it looks like his big debut match, the big debut for Wolf Aaron, will take place against Evil.
No. That's a Tokyo Dome match?
Yep.
He's debuting against Evil?
Yes.
That guy, that Russo guy in TNA, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. You've got to be kidding me. He's got to run through this guy. Oh, my God. There's literally one way to do a match that's stupid. And that is he goes in there and, like, immediately the House of Torture hits the ring and he just suplexes every single one of them over the top of the floor and then murders Evil and beats him in, like, a minute. That's the only way to do this match. If they do anything else, like, they've lost their minds.
Well, he did throw around everybody in the House of Torture, then got in Evil's face. He didn't back down, so Perhaps that's what'll happen in Wolf Aaron's debut.
God.
We'll get some retribution for Bolton Oleg.
Like, I'm trying to think of a worse person to debut him against. Evil? God. Anyway. Dwayne
Lexus King.
Johnson's The Smashing Machine. Are you aware, by the way, I was thinking about this in the car. I'm going to try not to get mad again here. But, you know, I went on a tirade about Javon again yesterday. It seems to be like every 3 days I do this. And it seems like most people are now starting to get on the same page that, like, my God, they are incompetent. But there's, like, you know, a couple people here and there that, like, you know, they don't like me or whatever, so they have to argue it. And, you know, one of the arguments, like, the people who argue it, they claim that what I'm saying is that Javon should be in the main event of WrestleMania in a championship match this year. I never said anything like that, okay? But, you know, when they said that, I got to thinking about, you guys realize Javon not only has never won the NXT title, he's never won the North American title, he's never won the tag team titles. And do you realize that the guy you just mentioned as a comedy bit on this show, Lexus King, you realize he has been a champion in NXT. Lexus King has been the Heritage Cup champion. Lexus King is a more decorated wrestler in NXT than Javon Evans. So the next guy that wants to say, oh, he's getting pushed or whatever, blah, 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 he hasn't even won the Heritage Cup. He hasn't won Iron Survivor. He's never won anything. He's less successful than the Smashing Machine. The Smashing Machine is a flop. You realize? It's a flop. Dropped 70% week over week.
Yeah, because you know what? If they were going to remake an MMA movie, it should have been EMMA Annuel.
I hate you. Back in a moment at Observer Live. Granny, what's happening? What do we got for the wrestling report here today?
Talk or something.
Talk or something.
So Niven comes in, jumps on Bailey with her overweight body a couple of times, doesn't mind playing dirty, leaves Bailey on the mat in lots of pain. I found this book. It's called Limericks from the Heart.
Is this a Lanny Poffo book?
Let me finish this one. This guy's name is Lanny Poffo. And there are 335 pages in here. Can you guess what it's about?
Smoking.
Oh,
Sean the Wizard.
have you read it?
We read it every week for about 6 months.
When I first started.
Wow.
Why don't we start reading some questions, and we'll see if we can spur some answers out of Granny. Shall we try?
I don't think so.
Let's try.
Then you'll really find out how dumb I am.
Granny, did you know there was a wrestling bear?
No, and I don't care.
All right.
It's a bear that wrestled people.
I still don't care.
Okay.
Is Granny frozen?
Granny, you frozen?
No, I'm ready to read my report.
Your picture is frozen.
It is.
Yeah. Or you're doing a great job as a ventriloquist.
Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, or whatever his last name is. Paul Newman is watching this match, and he's not on
Excuse me?
Cody's side. What's the matter?
Absolutely nothing. Everything's great.
You know, Cody did say that he was looking for a manager. I think him and Paul Newman would be a
What a handsome pair.
a dashing duo.
That guy's a movie star, isn't he?
Since you're on the phone, why don't we just jump right into your wrestling report and such, and then we'll let you go and we'll do Facebook without you.
Can I lay the phone down and you guys, can you hear me?
You can try. Why don't you give it a shot?
Okay.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a disaster. I can already tell.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. That's all right, I guess.
Go ahead.
No, it's your segment. You're gonna read
Read us jokes.
or your wrestling report or whatever. I see Granny has now put the phone back up to her ear.
I'm just, yeah, for now.
Do you have the soaps or anything else, Granny, or are we, is that it?
I want to quit for now.
Okay. Well,
No more.
instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Trying to give a health update on Kota Ibushi, and you have to throw me off my game. Kota Ibushi says he doesn't know how long it's going to take, but he's going to try his best to return. He said, I've only been getting seriously injured. This time it's a femur fracture. The broken bone even pierced through the muscle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say skin, and I was going to text Lance immediately, but
He says, I couldn't... The surgery was a success. He says, if I get another injury like this, I think I'll live out the rest of my life as an ordinary person. He says, I couldn't believe it. Tony Khan.
Come on.
Tony Khan himself sent me flowers and a letter. If someone does that for you, you can't just quit, can you? I cried. I don't know if it'll take 1 year or a year and a half to recover, but I'll do what I can. Right now, only my toes can move. The pain is intense. I was shocked to even feel anything. Mr. Tony Khan, all I can do is try my best. And I think he basically said, it can't end like this. So he's going to try to come back. But man, sometimes you just got to live a life as a normal person, I think.
Well, I can't imagine Kota Ibushi doing that. After everything that we've seen him go through over the last 20-plus years, I guess, in the ring, or however long it's been, 20 years, 15 years, I've got to imagine he'll get back in there again. And it was kind of odd because it wasn't too crazy of a move they were doing. They both
No,
just
it
kinda
wasn't.
fell.
But man, they showed that other angle where like his knee hit the ground, but like he was almost on the barricade, and just like the way he hit, I could just see exactly how he broke his femur. It was so freaking brutal. I don't know, man. That sucks.
Well,
how are
I
you,
bet
by
you-
the way? You got 5 seconds.
I'm not too bad. I'll be back. Kota Ibushi, I think, will be back. And you'll be back tomorrow, right, Brian?
I'll be back tomorrow and also tonight, Wrestling Observer Radio. We got a lot to get into. A lot of shows this weekend for subscribers, so check them out. And that's it, everybody. We'll talk to you next time, Wrestling Observer Live.